Adam can hear me, but
He can't.
our label, yeah, my label, if you roll over it, it just says you can't tell it's special until it says CEwire2026 speaker, but it's not that green color that was easy to see.
And neither is Adam's.
It makes it so he's got to change that because it's so much easier to see the speakers when we're checking them tomorrow that they're in the
Hey,
room.
look, there we are.
Yep. You know what? I gotta comb my hair. My hair.
All right, that seems to work.
There you go.
You guys should be able to see yourselves now, at least, so that's kind of good.
And now I can see, and now I can hear you. Can you hear us?
For
Yep.
better or worse. Maybe better.
Questions?
Maybe. And hopefully you guys can hear me too. I guess everybody can hear me, even though I can't hear myself because my headphones are dead and I can't hear you guys. So that is definitely an issue. But at least we know this live stream works, and that's good, and the lobby's working. So
Yep,
my
that's the
audio
most
problems
important.
should not be your problems. So bravo.
Well, Shell, welcome. Glad you're here for as a first-time attendee. Be prepared to have fun, get a lot of great CE with little to no effort on your part outside of paying attention. We aim to make this easy peasy lemon squeezy, and we're here in the lobby all throughout the live event weekend. If you ever have any questions, just pop in here and we're happy to answer them. And we've got a great lineup of folks for our first live event of 2026, which is really exciting.
First one's always the most interesting. Usually the bugs are minimal, but if they're going to come out, the gremlin's going to come out the first hour, the first day.
Yep. We'll get extra coffee tomorrow morning to make sure that we're here and ready to go to answer anybody's questions or to fix anybody's challenges.
Shale, to answer your question about how you can be sure that you're getting synchronous credits, usually a few minutes, but maybe the first day could be a little bit more. Your credits should appear in your transcript that you can access on the left-hand side or in CEwire. Will fairly easy to get, and we transmit it to Arbor. It takes a couple of weeks. When you watch on Saturday or Sunday, indeed live, and you take a survey right after, or you could take it a few minutes or a few hours or a few days after. You must complete the survey. You will get synchronous credit. No quiz for the live or synchronous events as you put them Saturday and Sunday.
The other thing to remember, Jill, is you need to be present for the class. You cannot have more than one window open at a time. So you can't go into room one and have a class going and then open up another browser window, even on another device, and open up, say, room two. You don't need to say, hello, hi, I'm here. We have software that tracks if you are there or not. So that's why it's really, really important not to have two windows open, even in another location. Sometimes it happens where people are watching in the office on a Saturday, for example, and then they go home and want to participate again the next day on Sunday, and we're getting a bunch of errors because you're signed into two places. So everything is tracked via the software. So make sure that you're logged in, and if you have any trouble, exit out of the room, go back in, refresh your browser, but just have one browser window open at a time. And as Steve mentioned, you do need to take the survey. It's like a course eval, really. We don't need a quiz for synchronous credit, and everything will show up in your transcript area. And sometimes they do take a day or two to show up. Sometimes they show up within minutes, and sometimes it takes longer, just because we do have thousands of people who are doing it at the same time. And so sometimes the processing time is a little delayed, but we aim to make it really easy. Just show up, take your course survey, and you'll get your credits. And thanks so much for being here, not only tonight, but also to participate with CEwire. We do this conference for you and for everyone else, and so we thank you for being here.
So thank you, Gretchen. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I sound normal?
Yeah.
Well,
normal is relative.
Normal. Yes.
Yes.
So good. Okay, good. So this is kind of working. I'm hearing myself. I feel like I'm in a stadium. You guys aren't hearing me echo, right?
No, you do sound a little hoarse, though, which doesn't bode well for our live event.
Yeah, I know. I'm in bad shape. This is actually how I really sound, which is terrible.
Well, we got a computer virus.
There you go. I feel like I'm in Yankee Stadium here, though, Steve. It's like cavernous. Like I can hear myself, like Lou Gehrig, right? The luckiest guy. But I'm like hearing an echo.
And that room is not a cavern. I can attest.
No, but I'll get used to this, or I'll figure my way out of it as we do this over the next few hours. I'm just glad I was able to get everything to work again. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for filling in there. That was kind of challenging.
Hi, Lance. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for everybody else who's here. We really appreciate you jumping on tonight to make sure that everybody's able to log in, because it is far better to spend 10 minutes on a Friday night in January to get it worked out rather than, oh my God, it's not working. What am I going to do? I'm going to be late to my class. So thank you all for taking the time to come tonight and say hello and check in to make sure all is as it should be.
Yep. And make sure you have given your OE tracker number, because that's really important. So we can submit it to Arvo for you.
Yeah, the OE tracker number is absolutely critical. Hopefully people won't forget that.
Well, that's another reason of why CEwire is so easy for people to attend and participate, that all you need to do is register, show up, and take the survey, and we'll take care of submitting your credits for you. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, of course, the transcripts are here. They're in your account if you need to see them, but you don't have to do anything with them. Again, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep. It's supposed to be anyway.
Yes, that is the object of the exercise. Sometimes we have a few hiccups, but that's okay. That's why we're all here, to solve any problems that might arise.
Yep. So I'm actually trying to solve one right now. I can see you guys like in our little triangle here on the screen. There's 3 of us, but like I keep disappearing and you guys take my place. Like when I shut up and you guys start talking, I like pop out of existence.
Oh, that's probably one of the settings that it just
sure is.
Goes to the active speaker.
Buried in a million menus here, so I'm going to try to figure my way out of this one. We'll see about this.
Any of you poor souls here in the Northeast freezing your behinds off with me? I was just sharing with Steve a few minutes ago. I am outside of Philly, between Philly and Allentown, how cold it is right now. It is so flipping cold, and we're supposed to have some winds later on. But Steve tells me it's going to be cold down in Florida too. So raise your hand if you're in the East Coast deep freeze.
I had 30 degrees tomorrow, 31 on Sunday. Low. I don't. You've been in Boca. That is historic.
Low. Yeah, that's not good.
Alan, the everything for async or on-demand watching is turned off during live event weekends, and it'll be turned back on Monday. So if you are interested in watching classes on demand, then they will be turned on Monday. And as a reminder, asynchronous or on-demand classes will require you to take a quiz and pass it in order for you to receive credit. And that's the case throughout the year, that the async classes are turned off during the live event weekends.
And by the way, Alan's a former associate of mine in New Jersey. I think I've sat next to him at some conventions years ago. So hi, Alan.
And he's freezing too. And Sanjay, yes, if you are logged in right now, which you are good to go. You shouldn't have any trouble when you log in tomorrow for your first class, whenever that is.
If you click the back button in the upper left-hand corner here, you'll see the 4 rooms. Tomorrow you'll see, you can go into each room. We have 4 tracks playing at the same time, really from 10 to almost 8 o'clock at night. So plan your schedule, and you still have April, June, and September to take all the classes. Plenty of time.
Yep.
I see that Sylvia is having some audio problems, so obviously she won't hear what I'm saying. But for everybody else, make sure that the volume on your actual device is up. Make sure the volume on the video player is up. And if all that fails, then refresh the page.
Which is what I'm telling her now. Yes, there is a video.
Oh, I bet you that Toronto is a lot colder. You're a lot colder to begin with than where I am here. And yeah, you're probably feeling this lovely, I don't even know what this weather event is called. I mean, is it a bomb cyclone or something? But yes, you're part of this freaking freezing weather is what I'm calling it.
It's not called global warming.
Climate change.
Climate change. Climate change is what the preferred nomenclature is.
Yes, because global warming seems to indicate that everything will be warmer, and that isn't the case. That also leads to climate change leads to extreme weather, like flooding and hurricanes and tornadoes and all this other stuff that we're dealing with.
Fires.
Yep. Okay, so this seems to work okay. Now I'm just trying to figure out the video window here. I want to make sure that that looks okay for folks so they don't keep seeing me winking in and out here, in and out of existence. So that looks okay. And you guys should also be able to see my screen. Hopefully, if I go like this, you guys should see it full screen. We can only hope.
Well, we see it on our end, but there we go. Now we see it on the player.
Yeah, so, the player lags a few seconds behind, so good.
Yep.
And, I have the PowerPoint here. There's nothing too exciting to go over today. Tomorrow, on the other hand, hopefully this will work a little better, as I do have an extremely long, punishingly detailed PowerPoint that Paul wanted me to go through about his life and times. So
it'll be fun. I actually am really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
For the audience that doesn't know, unfortunately, Adam's dad, Paul Farkas, is one of the originators of both OD and CEwire, passed away a few weeks ago, and Adam is doing a big tribute for him. So stay tuned. There'll be a quiz on that. No, there won't be a quiz. But
yeah, I mean, he asked for it, so I'm happy to give it to him. We'll see how it goes.
I want to say a special hello to Mark Rosner, who is here in the chat with us. He is one of a speaker for us this year, and he is one of our first-time speakers. So anyone who has attended CEwire in the past might know that we do tend to rotate out our speakers, anywhere from 10 to 20% of them every year. And that is up to Steve. Steve handles a lot of our speaker and course selection and sources that. And so it's always great to get some new folks in every year, even if it's just a handful, just to have new people and new voices, new blood. So Mark is one of our new speakers this year. So welcome, Mark. Thanks for being here. And I'd have to look at the schedule. I don't remember what day your class is, but we're looking forward to having you, along with all of our other speakers and our newbies as well. So we've got some great stuff on tap this weekend.
And always every year we get new speakers asking to come on board because we're so high profile and they want to be part of the team, and it's always helpful.
You're right, Steve, that we've had people come to us, to all three of us individually, and ask, can I be part of CEwire? Or thanks for having me. I'd like to be back next year. And of course, we do have people who want to take a break from year to year. But it's telling you that you're doing something right when speakers are coming to us and asking to participate. And that's a tribute to everything that you guys have built over the last 10 years, which is now 11 years. This is now the 11th year of CEwire.
Oh my gosh.
You'll see a great deal of diversity, variability, people who need DA requirements. We have at least 8 credits. We have a bunch of orals for New Jersey, and I believe New York needs it. And California needs a bunch of glaucoma lectures. We have tons of those. We have everything for everybody.
We also look to hear what you want, you, our attendees, because this conference is for you. There is a massive spreadsheet behind the scenes that goes in, that plans all of this out. And we look at states that have specific requirements. And obviously, we can't meet every requirement for every state, but we do our best. As Steve mentioned, California has a great deal of glaucoma courses that are needed, and everybody needs to have DEA stuff at some point, and that you can take on demand or asynchronously. But we also throw in stuff now and again, like a human trafficking or jurisprudence or something like that that is needed. But we want to hear from you. What do you want to see? What would be helpful for your practice? And you can pop a message in here or email us throughout the year. Really, at the end of the summer is when we start planning for the next year, because the CEwire slate for the year is now set, because it's the same courses we put on 4 times a year to give everyone the opportunity to take every class if they like.
Yep.
So, your input is not only welcomed, but desired and valued into planning the slate for next year for 2027.
We really need to know each individual state has requirements, some different than all the other states, so we can't keep track of it. So please, if your state needs a specific type of course, let us know and we'll try to get a speaker and a course.
Adam, I don't know if you're still trying to fool around with the viewing window, but we're still seeing just your screen. I don't know if that's what you want.
Sorry, I was still messing with it. So no worries. I'll give you guys back your.
Oh, I don't care. I just wanted you to know.
Thank you.
And have everybody else know that we are still live human beings here.
So this is all the fun stuff, right? These little details of getting all this crap worked out. So yeah.
One thing, if Audentio could put back the green labels on all the speakers, it makes it a lot easier for us to track them, including myself, because we're just kind of like there, you'll see.
I don't know if that will happen for this year, but yeah, I'm with you, Steve. It is a lot easier for us to try and track down the speakers when we need to in a room.
Yep.
Well, know that I'm still alive there. I see green. Yeah, they changed it. So when you put your mouse over it, it does say CEwire2026 speakers. So that's no problem. But when we're looking through 400, 500 names to see if the speakers have any difficulty, it's a little bit challenging. We'll find out tomorrow.
Oh, I have to click on it on mine to see that. But yeah. Just hovering over it doesn't do it.
No, my hovering does do it. And I don't have a special mouse. Adam isn't even, used to be a Realm person. You're just a subscriber now.
Oh, yes. You know why? I'm actually using a regular Average Joe account, which is sometimes something that I like to do to test the permissions out to, because my account is just like everybody else's. So that gives me real insight into what people are actually looking at. So that's why I do it that way.
That's good to do now and again, just to make sure that you know what everybody is seeing.
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of annoying here with that thing on the top with the window there, but I'll fix that one overnight. My audio sounds good to you guys, and besides my hoarse voice and being incredibly tired.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yep. So that's all that really matters, is that I can hear you guys, you can hear me. Excellent. Well.
So anybody else here who's hanging out, do you have any questions for us about how things work? What's going to happen over the weekend? Or if you don't have any questions, are there any classes that you are particularly looking forward to, or specific speakers that you saw the schedule and you thought, oh, wow, I definitely want to take that class because that person is a great speaker?
On the poll, how many newbies do we have here tonight?
So, Steve, you're going to actually be sort of stunned. The number of new people that we have this year is going to be relatively small. I mean, you won't be stunned actually, because the amount of marketing that I was able to get done this year was pathetic. In terms of actually
you were kind of
doing
busy
outreach.
we were busy with other things that were certainly more important.
Yeah. So we do have some, I want to say maybe 10%, but it's a very small number.
Well, I
But
think also too, at some point, with doctors who are interested in taking online education and are interested in doing it in this type of format, I mean, I personally don't understand why somebody would not want to do this, that we offer quality education. It's easy to do, and you do it whenever you'd like, whether synchronous or asynchronous. And the pricing is lower than anything else out there outside of free CE, which really isn't free, as we all know. There is a cost, even if you aren't inputting your credit card. I don't understand why people wouldn't do it, but at some point, I'm guessing, the people who are here are those who want to be here, and there are some folks who just aren't interested, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd that we get is usually quite good. We have, oh gosh, let me actually take a look here. I mean, we have, an incredibly large audience, right? You're talking about
Thousands.
3,000, looks like, give or take.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
that'll be higher by the end of the year because people join us throughout the year who aren't here for the first event.
Yep.
I don't think we've had less than 4,000 and change any year,
Yep.
at least for the last, during COVID, I think we had 6,000 or 7,000 because everybody was trapped indoors.
Right.
And you probably had fewer before. I mean, when you guys first started, this wasn't to the scale that it is now. I mean, you did it once a year and you didn't have as many classes either. But I mean,
Right.
this is uh, pardon my language, but batshit crazy. The amount of classes that are offered here that people can get for that amount of money. You can easily hit your annual or biennial credit requirement for
Yep.
your state simply by coming to CEwire. So, I mean, nobody else is crazy enough to do what CEwire does.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
think
trying to
the
remember.
first,
I think the first event that we did, we had
I think
1,500 people
30
show up, something like that. It
and,
was a
and
relatively
30
small number.
30 or 50, I forget which we tried to do, but it was over only one weekend, one time, and that was it.
Yep.
We proved
Yeah.
the
So it was
concept
a,
and
a
we went
rather
from
a
there.
rather small event versus what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean nobody else is doing this because of the amount of work in cobbling together all of this information. And for people who aren't aware, if you aren't a speaker, the amount of behind the scenes work is more than you think. It's more than just putting a lecture together and getting up on a podium in front of people or in front of your laptop to record, as our speakers do here. Oh, Sylvia has a question. You don't register for a class, you register for the meeting for our conference. And then tomorrow you can choose what class to attend, that you can go and sit in room one all day this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, and then sit in room two all weekend when we have our April event, or you can pick and choose. So you don't need to pick a class. You can choose right before the class is ready to begin which one you'd like to attend. So when you are registering, you get an annual pass for CEwire. And that means that you have access to all 4 live event weekends. Tomorrow is our first. And you can also take classes on demand throughout the year and get classes and credit that way. In fact, we even have attendees who come and sit through classes on demand and don't even take the quiz for credit because they either A, aren't interested in the credit, or B, they aren't able to use it toward their licensure in their state, and they just want to learn. So, yeah, again, going back to easy peasy lemon squeezy, you don't have to register per class. You're here, you're in, you have the whole enchilada.
Yep. Yeah. So don't worry about
So,
that at all. We're here to help if, you worry like, am I not getting credit? Am I doing it wrong? And you're going to have several thousand people here with you as well tomorrow, also being very helpful. That's the kind of cool part about it. Even if we can't help other
right.
people, have
If
been through this a lot,
90%
we
are
can help.
previous, they really know the IT and they're part of our support staff. If something glitches on your computer, or if something doesn't happen, but yet as the years have gone on, the problems have gotten less and less and less. Even with a couple of thousand people in at the same time.
Yep. It's sort of remarkable, actually, how many people, help in the process here. It's when you're watching it, it's kind of actually fun to see it unfold.
Mhm.
How people help each other out. So, not something I ever thought I
Yeah.
would see.
Even
yeah,
the
people
speakers.
really get into it, and they're here for the
Takes a
duration of the
village.
conference. So it'll take maybe like an hour or two to get used to it, and then old
It's
hat.
clear sailing.
So I was speaking a moment ago about the behind the scenes work and how other people are not crazy enough to have this many credits for a conference, and simply working with one speaker, getting that person's CV, getting the outline, getting the slides, getting the actual lecture, getting the quiz, getting it all approved through the university and then through COPE is not an onerous task when you have one talk that you need to handle. You ask one person, would you like to speak with us? Here's what you need to do. Here are the deadlines. Here's what we need to get from you. Great. And then you send it all in. But when you are doing that times 60 or 70, and sometimes we have team lectures, so you have two or sometimes even three people giving one class, well, then it's just exponentially harder. You have exponentially larger numbers of documents, of quizzes, of things to shepherd through COPE. Especially if something gets kicked back and it needs to be fixed, then you need to resubmit it and you need to keep track of that and you need to make sure it's all taken care of, everything's locked down. And one thing you'll notice on our schedule is a COPE number. Not every live event, whether it is digital, the way ours is, or even in person, has a COPE number. Sometimes it says COPE approval pending, and that's not the case here. There's a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that everything is nailed down, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and the approval is given, because we don't want to say to you after you take a class, gee, I'm sorry, that class didn't get COPE approval. And rightfully, you'd be very pissed off. So there is a lot of behind the scenes work in order to offer this many credits 4 times a year.
Not only that, Gretchen, but we vet each and every lecture to make sure it's not been given anywhere else, so you can get unique content. And that also makes sure that COPE doesn't get you taking this course and say, oh, you took it someplace else and really have double credit. So everything you take here, you can be rest assured is unique. It's never been given before, and if it's given again, it'll be because we're doing it in April again. So nothing to worry about there.
That's a really important point, Stephen. I'm glad that you brought that up, that each and every class here is brand new, and not every conference has that. I mean, we tell our speakers, no, I'm sorry, you need to, I hear something here. I don't know if somebody has something playing in the background.
Somebody is not
Interesting.
getting it, I don't think. Dr. Barnett, you don't have to register for anything today, tomorrow, next day. Just go into the classroom. You're registered for everything. You're paid with that one fee for everything, whether it be synchronous during the 4 weekends or on demand in between. You don't have to register. The software will track you. Hopefully, you gave your OE tracker number, and we'll be submitting it to Arbor for you.
Are you hearing us, Sylvia? I want to make sure that you are hearing us. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. But as I was saying, that these are all brand new classes, and some of our newer speakers who asked to participate will say to us, well, I've got these classes already COPE approved, and well, that's great, but we can't use those. We submit everything brand new to COPE, not once, but twice. Once for a live event and once for on demand. And so that's why we insist that all of our speakers create new content for us.
One thing you could do and should do is, as you take courses this weekend, write them down so that next time in April, when we're giving this event again, synchronous, you don't take the same course over again and find out you don't get credit again because we don't give double credit. That way you can plan your lectures a little bit better. Sometimes you can go through your transcript and find out, but simply writing them down and keeping a record of it is, I think, very helpful.
Another very good point, Steve. And if you want to go old school, one thing that Adam recommends is going to the schedule page and printing it out, or simply downloading a PDF of it and crossing them out so that
Perfect.
you know what classes you've taken, because it does happen. We get people who email us and say, oh, gee, I took this class in April and now here it is September. And I took the same class twice, and really sorry about that. But unfortunately, we cannot give you credit for the same class twice.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Adam's putting the schedule up there so you can see that you can print it, or you can take a screenshot or save a PDF, whatever works for you. If you opt to hop around from room to room, that way you use your time wisely and get the maximum number of credits you can. But one technique, as we mentioned earlier, is the first event of the year, you stay in room one the entire weekend. And the next event, you stay in room two. And that way you won't ever get into the wrong place. But double check just to be sure, because sometimes things do move slightly, although we try not to, in case we have a speaker conflict later in the year. But yeah, keep track of what you've taken. And you can always check your transcripts too.
Yep. And Gretchen, you can actually see it up on the screen right now, right? So this is easily printable. The schedule is designed to, again, for old people, right? When I put this thing together, I'm like, man, I like having paper in front of me. And I know that just
That's
sounds
a little bit
ridiculous.
better. Now I can see it. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, presbyopic, right? So we got to make it big. But yeah, so it's I always like having paper stuff, and I know it sounds old school, but it really does help, especially when you're doing like 75 hours, right? Because you never know what you've taken and what you haven't. It becomes like a total mess. So this is just my way to make it easier for everyone, and hopefully people use it and enjoy it this way, because I just find it much easier this way. I don't know.
One
No,
final
I totally
thing.
agree.
One final thing, you shouldn't take the same course synchronous and then try to get credits for it asynchronous, because again, Arbor will not allow that. They won't give you double credit for it. Even though you're taking a quiz the second time, it's just really the same course. So
Yeah.
don't do that. Ouch.
Even though they do have different COPE numbers, as Steve said, it is still essentially the same course.
Right.
So sorry, no double dipping.
Yeah, that's a major no-no. You're absolutely right. You can't and shouldn't do that. Yeah, double dipping. Arbo, when we first built the software a long time ago, it wasn't smart enough to figure that out, and Arbo was very unhappy with us, to say the least.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah, hopefully now it's not a problem.
Don't, if you're watching, let's say from your office, you're watching on the phone, you switch to an iPad or another tablet or a PC, please shut the browser on the original device, or the software will not like it and maybe not give you credit for the second lecture you're listening to, because it'll sense that you're two places at the same time in the conference. So please shut off one browser when you go to the next browser. This works on, Adam, am I correct, mobile phones, tablets, as well as PCs and Macs?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it should work on any kind of device that you want to use. Totally not a problem.
Phone isn't the best option though, because really the interaction with the speaker, which is the hallmark of CEwire, which it'll look just like what we are seeing tonight, where you are interacting with us via chat. That's how you'll interact with the speakers over the course of the live event weekend. And that's, you can't really do that on a phone because your screen has only so much space to show everything. Um, and also, too, sometimes if your window isn't considered live, meaning that you haven't done anything on your phone or you haven't moved it around, then it will go to sleep. And your phone does that automatically in order to conserve the battery, and
And
it can kick you out of the room. So, watching on a
At the co-
phone is not the best option, although you can, but it isn't the best experience.
at the
very,
kind of
very true.
Holly
You got to
asks,
be
does the
careful about
speaker
that.
have to go on camera at any point? No, they don't. Now, I tape part of my lecture where my big mug is on the slides, but it's a tape presentation with me there. And some speakers choose to do that for their whole lectures. Some choose to not do it at all. So you're not going to see the speaker, but they'll be in the room. They're required to, and we make sure they're there to get the credit and also to interact. And any questions? It actually is a better platform than going to a live conference in a lot of ways, because in the live conference, when you're raising your hand, you're interrupting the speaker. They have to stop. They won't take two, three, four questions in a row. Here, you're asking them questions as the lecture's playing, and therefore you're not interrupting them, and it's very easy to get the answers that you want. So it's in a lot of ways a lot better platform than a live lecture.
Totally agree. And speakers often give additional information based on questions from attendees that isn't part of the lecture. Now, of course, they may also say, "Oh, great question. Hang on, that part's coming up next." But they could also say, "Well, you know what? There's been a new study that has come out since I put this lecture together."
Yep.
Or, "I hadn't considered that before. Let me look into that." Our speakers have ongoing conversations with our attendees throughout the entire time of the class while it's ongoing in the background. So it really is, as Steve said, in many ways superior to even an in-person lecture because you can ask these speakers directly. Plus, we have our speakers forum on ODwire. Everyone here has access to that, that you can drop these speakers a line via ODwire on our forums. Not only will you get the answer, but other people will see it as well. So it isn't just, oh crap, let me write down the speaker's email address, because usually speakers give them at the end of a lecture. Anytime you have a question throughout the year, you can pop onto the forum for that talk and interact with that speaker there as well. So that's why we say CEwire is a year-round conference, even if it isn't a live event happening at the time.
I'll surely be facing that, Gretchen, with my lecture, which is on oculomics, which is using AI to look at systemic disease through the eye. And it's amazing what you can do now and what's going to be done in the very near future. And I know I taped my lecture just recently, but I know that by the end of the year, there'll be a lot more things that have come out, and you can either interact during my lecture, and I'll certainly give you new information, or like Gretchen said, an ODwire in the threads, in the forums. So please make advantage of it. And Holly does ask, do you have to watch the lectures not live? No, you don't. Well, there's the answer from Gretchen. It's on demand. It'll probably be open Monday, and that'll be, Adam, to December 1st.
Yep, to December 1st.
So you have from now to December 1st to take it on demand, really anytime you want, except from the 8 days that the live lectures are being played. There's no other hook for the smaller things, Adam, at this point?
I don't think so. Hang on one second.
We won't talk about that yet. That'll be
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah, we
have surprises
haven't set that up yet. I mean, it's been, to be honest with you guys, it's been one thing after another here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The fact that I was able to get the materials in was a minor miracle. So,
It's been a rough 2 months in the ODwire CEwire family. But to answer your question even further, Holly, you can, during live event weekends, only live classes are available. Otherwise, our platform would just cry and curl up in a ball in the corner in order to keep track of everybody live and on demand on the weekend. So on live event weekends, it is live only. for the rest of the year. You can watch async or on demand, but realize that you will need to take and pass a quiz in order to receive credit. And also make sure you check with your state. Some states allow every one of your credits to be synchronous,
Synchronous.
and some have restrictions on what you're able to do. So the best thing to do is check with your state so that, and everybody really should know when their renewal period is up, how many credits you are required, if you have any limitations on credits. For example, you might need 8 or 12 or whatever of glaucoma or opioid or human trafficking or jurisprudence or medical errors, anything like that. And make sure that you are meeting those requirements, because we do have people at the last minute, right before their renewal period is up, who say, oh my God, I need X number of credits. And everybody does this because, you know, life gets in the way. And in my previous life at different publications, we had people who were looking for that for, we used to call it way back in the day, correspondence CE. That was when you would read something and take a quiz and, oh my God, mail it in. That is really showing how long ago I did that, because nobody does that anymore. So, but yeah, you should, and I bet you Steve right now is seeing that you answered you're in Massachusetts, and he's looking it up on their
On
website.
AI. No, on AI, it'll tell me quicker.
But yep, find out how many credits you are allowed to have synchronous or virtual. And other than that, you can see how many you need for async as well. Because async, I mean, synchronous during our live events is fun. But of course, it is on those specific weekends, and obviously, these weekends aren't going to work for everybody. Some people have stuff to do, some people work every Saturday, or some people have family events. So, async is awesome. I like to say you can take it at 2 in the morning at your desk or even in your bed with your bunny slippers on. But you are required to take and pass a quiz, and you are limited by what your state allows you to do with on demand classes.
Okay, and I'm going through Massachusetts now. It's a lot to print. It won't all come out, I know, because it's too much. 18 hours total. At least 3 have to be glaucoma certified. 1 opiate course, you'll have no trouble with that. We have 8. The asynchronous, which is the on-demand portion, it's capped at 6 hours per year. The synchronous, which is what we call live, is considered live credits. So you could take all 18 courses from Massachusetts here live, including your opiate and glaucoma qualifications. Glaucoma is 3, opiate is 1, and you're good to go, live virtual.
Steve, is Massachusetts a yearly or
Yes,
bi-yearly?
it says annual 18 credits.
There you go. So their renewal is every year. And there you go, Holly. Boom. Talk about full service continuing education conference. Everybody in Massachusetts, now you know you need 18 credits every year. You can take all 18 at CEwire, because you don't have a cap on the number of synchronous classes, and you'll get your 3, I think 3 or 6 of glaucoma and your 1 of opioid for DEA. You get it all here at CEwire, people.
That was
One-stop
pretty
shop.
Gemini deep thinking that I pay for. So I guess I could deduct that now for my taxes.
There you go. Actually, you should already, Steve, because of what you do for your class, talking about oculomics with and I'm sure you're going to give examples from all of the different AI platforms that you use. So I say, and my advice is worth what you pay for, but I say that you are able to deduct your subscription to all of them.
Gretchen, you had me at hello.
I live to serve, Steve. You know I live to serve.
Not only that, but I lecture locally here on AI and actually got paid for a couple lectures, so I think it is legitimate.
There you go. I totally buy it. I totally buy it.
Gemini, Rock, Gamma, HeyGen, ChatGPT, but they're all like
Claude,
$20. Claude, yes. Claude's, I pay for the $20 version of Claude. Claude's
can
like,
I just
Claude,
ask Steve, with
yeah.
all of those that you use, if you put it all together, how much would you say that your AI subscription fees a year are? And I have no idea how much these things cost. 200 bucks,
Let's say
500 bucks, 1,000 bucks?
$1,200. I just did in my head. 20
That's
times 6 times, yeah, but maybe 1,500.
that's not
But
too
you know
bad.
what? No, but it's I do help. And one of them, by the way, there's one I'm going to put up right here. It's called Open Evidence. You guys are going to love me. Even Adam knows this. This is a free um, AI that's run by JAMA and New England Journal of Medicine and a few other highly profitable medical sites. And only people with MPI numbers can get into this program, and it's free. So I'm all the time answering questions to various friends, relatives, and people that want just free advice on. I gave somebody advice on a torn rotator cuff yesterday. I have no idea about
Oh,
torn
you
rotator
are
cuff.
you're an orthopedic surgeon? Excellent.
Well, but when I show you this, not only Adam's worried about hallucinations, don't worry about it because this is run by legitimate people. Plus, you get the references, and you can click on the references and read them also. So this person wanted to know how long the recovery time was, and even though it's done orthoscopically, I thought it would be no big deal. Nah, it's a good 6 months that the person's going to be out of business.
Right.
So everybody go to that site and just I don't have any stock in it or pay. I don't pay for it. It's free. Open evidence, and at this point, I believe 70% of all MDs have signed up for it, and they actually use it chairside. I think OD should also when you're stumped or you want to give a patient more information about a particular thing, and it doesn't have to be about the eyes. Because you've got systemic disease or really anything in medicine. Please go to it. It's I didn't use it in my lecture because oculomics I actually researched myself. But and you're not going to believe that I'm giving you a little taste in my lecture that within a few years we're going to be going for an eye exam is going to be better than going for a physical by your internist by far. But we'll just leave it at that.
Sneak peek into Steve's class. And when is your class, Steve?
I have
Tomorrow
no
or
idea.
Sunday?
I actually have no idea to look at the lecture because I know I'm always here.
No, that's true. Right.
Right. So Steve's class is
What is it,
actually the
Adam?
easiest to
Because I don't.
schedule.
Yeah. What is it? Saturday or Sunday?
Um,
I could look. Don't worry about it.
That is funny though that you're right, Adam. Steve's class is always the easiest whenever you have everybody else plugged in, like, okay, yes, because we're here all day, every day. You're here all the time, Steve. So that's why. That's
It puts
funny.
me around like
yeah.
a rock. Any place they want to put me, they put me.
Yep. So yeah, it's Saturday.
Okay. But like I've said, because this field is changing literally as I speak, AI in eyes and optometry, but also in systemic disease through the eye is changing on a daily basis, or at least a monthly basis. It should be that coincidence. You guys gonna love what you can see now. And it's not that it's just better at seeing; it can do things and do the calculations of, let's say, how the blood vessels look that the human eye or even OCTs with regular software just can't do. But anyway, open evidence. Try it now. Put anything in that you want about um, uh, pheochromocytoma, and you'll get an answer. Remember that disease, Adam?
Yep. I think the problem with it though is sometimes it gets stuff wrong. And the issue is unless you're an expert, you're not going to be able to figure it out. That's the problem. Because when we've used it or I've used it here.
Open evidence, you just yeah.
Yeah, and I've used it and it can get stuff wrong, which can be, problematic, right? If you have someone with a complicated disease like my wife, some diseases obviously are simpler than others, but like an autoimmune problem, when you're going through it and you're looking at it, I'm not an expert by any stretch, right? I know enough, but I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And when you start nagging it, it does the same kinds of things that other AIs do because they're not deterministic, right? They're probabilistic, and it'll apologize for getting it wrong. But like I don't think it's going to be the kind of thing where you're going to be able to be Joe Blow off the street and be able to diagnose, a pheochromocytoma. Right? But if you're an expert, it could probably be useful just to think about things that you might have missed. That's where I see it's probably more useful, right? If you give it a differential, it's like, hey, I need a differential for this, and they give you like things like 15 long. That's kind of useful, right? Because it's showing you things that you haven't thought about before, but I wouldn't trust it to ever, make an actual diagnosis.
Well, I often just click on the references, and you can actually go to the journals then at the bottom when you ask a query. That helps a little bit.
Yeah.
Your browser is muted. I don't know if the volume is turned up on your device, whatever you're watching us on. If both of those things are working fine, then you might want to refresh the browser. And if that doesn't work, then you want to exit out of the lobby and come back in. And this advice is good for tomorrow as well. Sometimes it takes a second for the video player to kick start. So refreshing your browser is always the best way to go. And Joe has a question here. We are here to help.
Refresh your browser. You know that little arrow next to the house? Are using
He won't hear you, Steve, because the whole thing is he
that's
can't.
it.
He doesn't have audio.
What browser? How come, Adam, everybody's name has the circles are different colors?
Oh, that's just a feature of software just to make it easier to differentiate. I think it just assigns a color as you log in.
Exactly. Yeah, it's giving you a little color.
Kind of like changing the background color in a spreadsheet every other row.
Yep.
I'll give them the Chrome answer. I don't know if that's going to be correct, though.
Oh, boy.
It's funny you appreciate this, Adam. I think Gretchen also. The other day I had to use a Mac for some reason. I didn't have my computer.
Sure.
And I had I couldn't Control C, Control V. I had to learn all these new commands to do the simplest thing. But I realize it's just a learning curve.
So, it's the
Macs
keys
are so intuitive.
Yeah.
I always say once you go Mac, you don't go back, just because it's so much easier. Because think about where it should be, not in some weird buried convoluted place that Windows has it.
Right.
Yeah, and I've used both. I have been Mac personally, I've been Mac since 1993. And I have used PCs at work at a number of jobs. Oddly enough, not the jobs that I've liked the most, but it just never made sense where some of the stuff is located. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And Adam, by the way, it's the video on the player is stuck on Steve, as opposed to going from who's speaking. Not that that's a problem. I just wanted you to know. I didn't know if you wanted it that way.
Moving around.
Huh. All right, there's Adam. It was before, it was showing on Adam's screen with the schedule, and then it was At one point, it was going to the active speaker, and then it was just on you, Steve. Maybe it was me.
Yep.
Very weird.
Answer Holly's question even more. Everybody has to finish their credits by December 31st. So being a new year, this is a perfect time to finish up your credits in almost one weekend.
Yeah, knock it out for the whole year.
Yep.
And that way, if you get more, it's a bonus, but at least you won't be scrambling during the end of the year when it's holiday time and also just everybody trying to get in to use up any type of health benefit at the end of the year, too. The last thing you need to do is worry about, oh my God, I need 2 more glaucoma classes.
Yep.
In New Jersey, it's really interesting. You can carry over 20 credits,
Oh,
but they don't
really?
count as oral, therapeutic, glaucoma, narcotics, anything. They just count as credits. Therefore, and they're kind of almost good for nothing because you still have to take all those other
Yeah,
credits.
if you need a certain requirement, I mean, I guess it's good if you are, oh my God, I'm short classes, but if you need something specific, it doesn't really help you.
Yep.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Hey guys, can I try an
Like you did.
experiment here? Can I kill your
Sure.
Zoom for a second and have you come back in?
To the Zoom?
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
kill it.
What
I'll
is
kill it
Zoom?
and have you guys come back in. So hang on, let me try
I'll
it.
wait till you kill it.
Yeah, let me see if I can kill it.
We shouldn't leave.
I'm gonna leave and then you guys come back in. Okay, I killed their Zoom. And
Can you hear me?
yep, I can hear you.
Okay, it looks like I went back into the live stream too.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. That's good. Could be worse. And let's see if we get Steve back.
There he is.
Okay.
So let's see if Joe had any luck. Hopefully he managed to get that working because that'll be a problem for him tomorrow for sure.
Yep. Okay. And just trying to get my audio working here.
For everybody else who's hanging out, we're here. Any questions?
Hang on 1 second.
Anything you want to chat about?
Okay, and Gretchen.
Yes.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just asking if Joe had any luck with getting audio and asking any of our other folks hanging out if they had any questions or anything they wanted to talk about. And we could just talk about how cold it is again.
I think Lance did communicate with us once about becoming a speaker. So watch the lectures, Lance, and see how do you like them this year.
Well,
Dr.
Holly has a
Underwood.
question. Usually you do get your certificate right after Holly, but we always ask people to give us a grace period until Monday because there are thousands of you getting your certificates at the same time when the classes end, and it is a lot for our platform to process. Most of them show up fairly quickly within 15 minutes or so, but sometimes there are some that take a little longer. So your answer is usually yes, you get it, but don't be alarmed. And I would say wait until Monday afternoon. And if it hasn't shown up by then drop us an email at support@CEwire.com and we can look into that for you. The problem is that as I said, most of them do show up, and so if one doesn't, sometimes people panic and say, "Oh my God, I sat through the class. I want to make sure I get the credit," and you will get it. Sometimes some of them just get caught up in the stickiness of the internet sometimes. And yes, there is a survey that you fill out at the end of a live class, the synchronous class. It's like a course evaluation. You are required to do that before your credits will post. So you may sit in the class, but if you don't take the survey, then you will not get the credit. Now you can take the survey at any time, but obviously you want your credits to post. So take the survey sooner rather than later. If you are going right into another class, you can wait and take the survey, say at the end of the day or Monday, but just know that there will be a little lag time in your credits posting. Now, on the other hand, if you're taking on-demand or asynchronous courses, you are then required to take a quiz and pass the quiz in order for your credits to post. And
And
poor
if you don't
Joe
pass
here.
it the first time, you can take it again.
You can also find the surveys just by going to CEwire.com/surveys. And that's an easy way to find all the surveys for each class. But when you sit in the classes, there will be a little pop-up at the top of the chat, just like where we're sitting right now. There will be a pop-up at the end of the lecture that you are now able to take the survey for the class. And you can do it. It should take you 3 minutes to do it. But know that you can do it later if you want.
It usually pops up just a few minutes before the end, but all you should know, you have to stay to the end of the lecture to get credit. The software times you, and please, I know you might have a computer glitch. If that happens, notify support, but you have to stay in for the entire lecture.
And Joe is going to move on to a different device. I'm telling him to make sure he logs out from his current device because if he was watching on a tablet and then decides to move to his desktop and doesn't log out on the tablet, well, then there's going to be a problem tomorrow because our platform will think that you're watching it in two different places, even if you're not. If you're logged in, it's considered watching and it won't give you credit for either class. So
And
we
the
did
site
talk
never
about,
times out, Gretchen. So you could stay on there from here till April. It'll still be open. So
yep,
it's not like it'll time out.
right. You do need to log out, close the window, close that browser, and you do need to make sure you're watching only one window at a time. Even if you don't have another device open, but you're sitting on your laptop and you decide, oh wow, I'm sitting here already. Let me open up another browser window, log in, and I can get two classes during this hour rather than one. Not going to work. Our software will detect that. It will tell you that you have two windows open. You'll need to close it. And if it's open for too long, you won't get credit for either class. We've seen it happen.
Yep. And the classes typically are not an hour. They're typically about 50 minutes, maybe 45 to 55 minutes. So you have plenty of time in between the classes to get to your next one, whether in the same track, different track, doesn't make a difference. You have plenty of time to take the survey, go to the next class, and as you do one or two, you'll be experts on it.
Yep.
And we have one of our new speakers, and just like we had Mark Rosner earlier, we have Ken Sorkin. Hi, Ken. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us on CEwire. And it will be just like this tomorrow. Instead of seeing our ugly mugs in the video player, you will see your lecture playing, and then you will interact with attendees just like we are right now in text chat. So, no, the only time that you are on camera is if you choose to be, is when you are recording the lecture, and that's already done. And also for
And
our attendees, attendees are not on camera either. We are only the poor slobs who are here sitting in front of cameras for Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Nobody else needs to be or really can
yep.
be.
So Ken, you can be in your underwear. You don't have to shave. Either way.
Well, I
Ken,
like to say bunny slippers, Steve. I mean,
and however you like it, is Ken related to Steve Sorkin from New Jersey?
I don't know. Let's ask. Hey, Ken, are you related to Steve Sorkin?
He's a lecturer at CEwire as for the last several years, I think.
Yes, yes. One of our a great speaker who we are
Yeah,
fortunate is willing to come back. You can wear a tinfoil hat, absolutely.
yeah, and you
I
can
mean,
tell the
depending
audience that.
on where you are. I mean, sometimes you need one. Sometimes shit's going on and you need a tinfoil hat.
Hmm.
Well, I guess with the delay, we haven't heard yet if he's related to the great Steve Sorkin, or maybe he is and just doesn't want to claim a relationship. Oh, there we go. No relation, 93 SUNY classmates. That's pretty funny.
Wow,
Two
he's a pretty
Sorkins at the same time. I don't know if SUNY was ready to handle that.
he's a pretty bright guy. Hopefully, your transcripts never got mixed up.
Or maybe it just comes with the name.
Yeah, the genes are there, the Sorkin genes.
That's right. Steve is a great guy. We're
Yeah.
glad to have him with us again this year. Grateful to have his expertise. And now we get another Sorkin. No pressure.
Yep, he lectures all over the country. I see him in everything. Steve. And by the way, you guys know that there's not going to be two Vision Expos anymore, just one. This year
Yep.
it's going to be in Orlando in March, and
Yep.
that's it. So there's less places to get credit.
Yep. Anybody else out there who's got a question for us, a question whether you're a speaker, an attendee, um, we're here. That's why we're here tonight. Or what classes are you looking forward to? Any class that you are excited to take or speaker that you want to hear. Bonus points if you say Ken Sorkin because he's here and already participating in the chat.
They actually lectured with Steve. Look at that. I don't know how they got together somehow.
Or our own Dr. Silberberg here, who's giving his class tomorrow. So extra points if you say Sorkin or Silberberg. That's a lot of S names at once. That's a
Yes,
tongue twister.
well, Sorkin's not as bad as Silverberg. I
That
came
is
to
a
Montreal.
mouthful, Steve. I will
I
say.
had I had to live it. Luckily, I moved from Manalapan to Boca. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, Manalapan is a hard word. That's,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know where to emphasize the syllables. It's
right,
probably a Native American name, which is what a lot of them are
right.
around here in this northeastern area.
There's actually a Manalapan, Florida, also, which
Oh,
is.
really?
Oh, and I think Anna might know. It's probably the oh most exclusive town in the country or something,
Hmm.
or
Oh,
one of
really?
it. Yeah, I've never been there. Believe me.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go so that you could have been at both.
Am I correct, Adam? You were?
Yeah, I've
No?
never actually been either, but it's right on the water, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like the coastal.
Mets fans, my condolences.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan. Sorry, guys. In fact, I could show you my room, but in fact, there behind me is that's Joe Klecko, but here is as they turned is Mickey Mantle.
Wow.
There's some, my sports memorabilia. then it's my mantle and a few other things. So the whole room has stuff every inch of New York stuff, whether it be uh, Giants, Jets, Rangers, Knicks, Yankees, no Mets. Sorry.
It's a shrine.
I will
They
be
still
right
haven't
back,
put
guys.
they still haven't put Aaron Judge up yet. He has a spot until he wins the World Championship. Now, for you
Well,
Met fans,
if we're talking sports, we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl?
it's kind of a boring Super Bowl this year for me. The only thing I hate, luckily Boston or New England's in it, so I have somebody to root against. But I can't
Well,
believe they left Bill Belichick out of the Hall of Fame. That's like a travesty. I mean, the first
yeah,
year,
that wasn't yeah, not well done. Well, I mean, I am not going to root for the Patriots just on general principle, being a
yes, they
Philly
had
fan.
enough women.
And it's I mean, even though Tom Brady is no longer there, I just loathe Tom Brady. So, I mean, it's sort of guilty by association now. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a dog in the hunt. So, I mean, I guess if I'm going to root, I'm not really rooting for the Seahawks. It's more rooting against the Patriots. So,
And by the way, we might be stupid, but we're not dumb. The reason we're having it this weekend is it's in between everything. The NFC, AFC championships were last week, Super Bowl
yep,
next week, and this week you can watch miniature golf on TV. So
miniature golf.
that's the reason why but we choose these weeks. And in fact, you'll go through the year and you'll see that all the other events are taking place when there's no holidays, whether it be religious or national, and nothing doing in terms of sports either. So we try to accommodate people when it's easiest for you to attend the lecture. In fact, we knew that there might be a snowstorm in New York and Philly this week, so we try to get it in then also. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, you're right. And that goes back to all the behind the scenes planning. Another spreadsheet with everything that happens throughout the year that we don't want to have it on, say, Mother's Day weekend. Or we always look to see when meetings are taking place, even other
Right.
folks who've got meetings. We don't want to conflict. There's enough out there for everyone, so we don't want people to have to choose between coming to our meeting or something else. We want to make this, once again, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So a lot of thought, as Steve said, goes into planning the dates to make sure we don't hit anything. Because, I mean, if it's the Super Bowl, it's going to be dead. Not a lot going on after, say, 3 o'clock on a Sunday, and
Sure.
that's not good. That's not good. We
We
want to
don't
set
go
ourselves
as
up for
far as looking at
success.
we don't go as far as looking at the Farmer's Almanac to see what there potentially could be bad weather on a Saturday, so all the ODs in the upper northeast and northeast don't go to work, but close to that. Even
Well,
on a
actually,
religious
maybe
holiday,
bad weather would work in our favor, Steve, because then
that's what I
people would
meant.
be, yeah,
I meant that's when you should have it, yes.
yeah. Last
Ken,
weekend would have been a good one.
were you closed on Monday, Ken, last week?
Well,
Let's
we're
see if
going to
we can
have a couple
answer.
second delay from,
Yeah, yes. We'll get the answer. My previous office was closed. I think everybody was pretty much closed on Monday.
my daughter's vet hospital. They opened late. So they opened at 10 rather than their normal.
Wow, because most of the from
Yep, just like
the
what Steve
exception
said, or I'm
as I
sorry,
got
Ken said, the late opening.
well, but he's New York. New York, it snows black. So
It
even if there's
snows
80,
black.
yeah, it just never builds unless it's a 25, 30-inch snowstorm. By the time, there's so much traffic, so much people, you really don't get a big buildup. The outer boroughs, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx might, but Manhattan, no.
You got about the same as us. Yeah. And then not only was it snow, but probably the same for you, Ken, is we had all of that sleet afterward. In fact, still the snow that we have outside here is smooth and shiny as glass because it's all ice. And it's actually kind of neat when you drive in the dark and you see all the lights reflecting off of it because it looks like a skating rink. But yeah,
Yep.
a pain in the ass to dig, faux show.
It's going to sublimate before it melts, I think. It's so cold.
Yeah, it's I remember I grew up in the Poconos and we would get a lot more snow up there, especially because it was before we had as much climate change as we do now. But a lot of the snow was very, very fluffy. And even if it was the heavy, dense snow, even after a couple days, it wasn't really snow anymore because the moisture evaporates out and it compacts down. So it's more just like ice. So if you want to go play in the snow, it's better to go right away because other than that, it's not as fun. Oh,
Very interesting.
yay! Joe has volume. Now you can hear our dulcet tones, Joe, that you were
Every
missing out before.
That PC's working, Joe. Dust,
Woohoo!
dust it off.
Just make sure that you have exited out of the lobby on your previous device, regardless of what it was, because you don't want that to still be logged in tomorrow. I mean, even later in the year, as Steve said, it won't ever time out. So you need to log out so you are not logged in on two different windows.
I'm curious, maybe Adam can answer this. If somebody didn't log out, but Joe was in the lobby on his other device and then went into a room, I think you still get credit. It won't say you're in two rooms. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, the lobby, I don't believe counts because there are people who keep a window of lobby open
Yep.
in order to pop in and say hello, or if they wanted to see something that we're talking about, or if they had a question. Yay, I'm really glad that that worked. It looks like
Yes, in that check.
some people have left, which is understandable. So we're down to fewer folks hanging around. Any questions from folks who are here? Ken, glad you were here too. It's always good to make sure that your account works. Appreciate you jumping in. Look forward to seeing you this weekend in your class. I'll pop in to say hello.
Yep. Ken, I don't know if you ever did it before, but it's kind of surreal listening to yourself lecture while you're giving answers. First time I did it, it kind of felt really funny. I said, boy, that's how I really sound. But you get used to it. Gretchen, you have to listen to my lecture at least the first 10 minutes because I do a little bit of AI stuff with avatars talking with my voice. And it's actually giving good information, but it's kind of neat what you can do. It gives them
I
a
do
little
want to
hookup.
hear it.
Yeah.
There are many classes that I say that I want to hear and then I never go back to do it. And I need to make sure that I do because I think it's important.
Yeah.
And yours is one of the ones on the list that I'd want to see, Steve.
And
Absolutely.
and every slide I generated with AI. And so I'm not that great with Photoshop, but you wouldn't believe you know what an infographic is?
Yeah.
Every slide is an infographic or something like that, and it's just so colorful and so much information you can put in at the same time, and it becomes an artwork. So I try to do the lecture about AI with AI.
I am looking forward to seeing it for sure.
It's
So
getting
come on,
crazy
you
in that
guys
chat.
hanging out here in the lobby or in the welcome orientation, chime in, say hi, say where you're from. Uh, tell us how many times you've been attending CE Wire. Tell us what you've liked in the past. And if there's something you don't like, tell us that too. We're here for you.
I'm going to shut myself off and grab that.
All okay on your end there, Adam?
Okay.
Yeah, all doing okay? Yeah, I can hear you. We
Are
don't
people
see you though.
registering it? As we're talking, are people registering Adam? Because Adam vets everybody coming in to make sure their credentials are good. I took my video off, not for any other reason, but I'm hungry. I'm eating my dinner. Do you eat yet, Gretchen?
I was having some bites earlier when I wasn't on screen when I was switching off when I wasn't talking, but it's still sitting here next to me. I've had a few bites. Glendale, Arizona, Joe. Excellent. Glad that you are here. That's okay. You don't need to be a tech giant. You figured it out. We're glad that you're here. And you're likely a little bit warmer than I am, and warmer than Steve will be this weekend.
It's actually exponentially colder here at 30 degrees and 10 degrees in Philly, I think.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, it is a big drop given your normal climate. You're not supposed to be 30 degrees in South Florida. I mean, come on. That's not
People
what you
get,
signed up for.
no, but people get very mad when they close the golf course, even though they can play literally every day and every night or every afternoon. So I that's why I do see wire on Saturdays and Sundays when it's 30 degrees.
Oh, you have a video problem?
Reverberating?
Well, you don't have your Zoom video on. Joe still has leaves in Arizona. Wow. We last lost ours months ago.
Wait, leaves fall in Arizona? I thought they're not deciduous.
Well, I'm guessing that you go into a season, a dry, even if you don't have the same types of seasons as further north, but you still have a bit of it. But I'm totally making that up and I'm assuming I'm right, but I could be full of crap.
No, but I think like Sedona, which is north and a little high altitude, they probably do. That's where Dr. Whitman, I don't know if you know, has a home. One of our lecturers,
Doctor Who?
Whitman, Richard Whitman, he has a home in Sedona.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, he showed me pictures many times. In fact, we're meeting in the summertime to go to a Yankee game together.
Nice. I'm guessing that he doesn't go there as much in the summer because it's a little warm.
Sedona actually is pretty temperate. It's not warm. I mean, it'll be right 85 degrees, not 100. And in the winter, it gets down to like 40.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining us. No, you don't register for individual classes. You registered for CEwire 2026, and that means you have an annual pass to all 4 live events. The first one is tomorrow, and that means that you can jump into any class that you'd like at any time. And starting Monday, our on-demand classes, asynchronous, will be available. Those are turned off during live event weekends. So we suggest that you print out or download a PDF of the schedule and then mark off the classes that you've taken so that if you come back in April, June, or September, that you don't take the same class twice because we are able to give you credit only once for any class that you take. And in addition, if you take it during a live event weekend, you cannot take the same class for credit during an on-demand period. Now, the beauty of on-demand is you can go back and watch a class as many times as you like, and you are not required to take the quiz to get credit if you've already seen the class. So if you, like Steve's oculomics class, if you missed a bit or wanted to revisit something, feel free to watch any class as often as you like, but you will get credit only once. And for the live event weekend, you are required to take a very quick 2 to 3 minute survey following the class in order to receive your CE credit. And if you take the class asynchronously, you will be required to take and pass a quiz in order to get your credit. So you can take your survey for the live classes. You can take it right after, or you can take it one day next week. But just know that your credits will not post until you have completed the survey. And
But to make it
I
simple,
know,
just go to the classroom. It'll know you're there. The software
yep,
knows you. People always are saying, "Hi, Dr. Whitebloom here, Dr. X here." You don't have to say anything in the chat. It doesn't do anything. Just stay in the classroom. The software knows you're there. Take the survey at the end. That's all. You don't have to register, do anything, like Gretchen said.
yep, you don't need to say hello in order to prove you were there. The software knows you are there. And because it knows you are there, it will also know if you open up another window or even log in on another device. You can watch only one class at a time, no double dipping to get two classes in the same hour. And I know that we're giving you a lot more information than you asked for, but I figured I'd run through it all. So your attendance is simply our platform. It knows you're there. It tracks you. It knows if you have a window open. And if you run into any trouble throughout the weekend, you can simply pop back into the lobby, which is where all of us will be the entire weekend. We are there for live tech support and chat like we're doing right now. And if you have any questions afterward, you can email support@CEwire.com. Most of your credits will post right away after you take the survey, but because of the volume of attendees and the number of credits that are being processed at one time, sometimes a few lag behind. Um, don't panic. Sometimes people do, like, oh my God, I've gotten 5 classes that I got credit and only one didn't post. What happened? Just give it till Monday afternoon. Sometimes the system just needs to catch up.
Peggy, to make it a little bit simpler for tomorrow, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that back button. Click on it now, and you'll see room 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the schedule will show you who's in 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you just click on that room, and you're there. Right now, you're in the lobby, so I don't want to confuse you. That's how you get to the classes tomorrow.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We aim to make it as simple as possible for you, that all you need to do is register and jump into the classes you like, and then take your survey, and we do the rest. And we're here if you have any questions.
And there's a lot of buffer at the beginning of each class. You'll hear Adam talking, giving a little intro. So you have a few minutes there, a lot of minutes in between classes to take the survey and hop into another track or stay in the same track, etc. Sometimes if you do stay in the same track, I would refresh your browser. Sometimes it kind of glitches and doesn't show the new lecture, but you'll find it obvious to do that, I think.
Yep, and if you find that the video does start in a room, if you're staying for more than one class in the same room, sometimes you just need to refresh, as Steve's saying, if you aren't hearing any sound. It's great that you can stay in the same room the entire time, but sometimes the system needs a little kickstart, and that's what the refresh will do.
Great majority of our lectures are 1 hour because people, I think, prefer it. We do have several 2 hour lectures, and for those, you just have to stay in the room for that hour and 50 minutes and take the survey at the end.
Well, I'm glad that we're getting some questions from some new people, because it's really rather quiet here. I mean, I guess as we were talking earlier, there's only so many new people we're going to get every year, and so many people know the drill and then chime in to help others as we go through the live event weekend. But yeah, sometimes quiet is good.
From the amount of people we've seen in 11 years, I think we've probably hit at least half the country coming at least once to our seminar.
And Hassan had a question. Yes, you are required to take the survey in order to get credit. It's just another one of the checks and balances from Arbo to make sure that we are giving everyone credit who showed up. It's more like a course evaluation. It isn't difficult at all. It takes 2 minutes of your time. You can take the survey right after your class if you like. There will be a window that pops up that or a little pop-up that'll tell you the survey is available. Or you can do them all at once if you like. But just know that your credit will not show up in your transcripts until you take the survey. And if you wait until next week, I mean, that's fine. You certainly can, but your credits will be delayed until you take the survey. In fact, Adam sends an email to every attendee after a live event weekend reminding you to take your survey. And if you aren't able to get to it through the link in your classroom, you can simply go to CEwire.com/survey and you will see a listing for surveys for all of the classes, and you can simply pick the one that you just attended and take the survey. So it won't take long at all, but yes, it is required. Very good question.
Yeah. You're knocking on Adam's door, though, please. Last year, hundreds on his doorstep. It was just impossible. And Arbor loves it also, just gives him a little bit more work. Yeah. People might ask, there's been other lectures where they give a QR code at the end and you put your phone up and it goes directly into Arbo. We can't do that because that software doesn't integrate with the timing mechanism of ours or any other for that matter. So therefore, we wouldn't be doing it the correct way or even the legal ways. We would love to do that, I think, Adam, but it's just impossible to integrate those two different systems. Mhm.
Yep.
Just want to acknowledge Dr. Polino says hi. I think he's going, and he's here just to say hello. Dr. Carlo Polino has been a constant presence at CEwire, so thank you for coming in to say hello.
Hi, Carla. Thanks for being here.
Um, Mike Sandy is asking which courses qualified for DA. I believe we can put a narcotics name next to it because that's not a COPE designation. But if you go into
I was on gabapentin, and yeah, that knocks me out. And well, I think what this is just showing is that this type of education and the steps that have been taken are working. $72-day supply, Steve. Then you need those drugs. Make a quick buck, Adam. Turn it up to 11. Uh, well, I don't know. Let me refresh this and see how many people actually are here. Um, yeah, there are some, I mean, there are some people hanging out, but whether they're actually paying attention. Oh, I see some new names than from before. So we did have some turnover. So hi to everybody. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Dr. Poole, Ben has a question. Yes, we can answer that one. CE broker, that is a hard no. That's something you do yourself. For some point in the future. Right. Only delivered by Dr. Paul Farkas. That would be pretty cool. I remember that.
And he was a technician, then he decided to go to optometry school, and by the time he graduated, I was gone.
Where did he go to school? Do you know?
Oh, probably I would assume SUNY. He was from New Jersey. It could have been PCO though.
Yeah.
In those days.
I'm still calling it PCO.
Well, didn't Salus get taken over by somebody else?
Drexel. Now it's going to be Salus University at Drexel or Pennsylvania College of Optometry at Drexel. You know, I don't know what they're calling it. It's still, I'm calling it PCO. Well, maybe, maybe not. There's always some challenges with stuff like that. I just know that some people were happy, some people were unhappy, and I don't have a dog in the fight, so. Mhm.
OD degree.
Yep. That was crazy.
And back again. I did eat.
Oh, Mike, Steve is, actually, you should be seeing, Adam's screen with the schedule. So Adam, maybe
Yep.
turn
Yeah,
that
sorry
off
about that.
and then show
Let me,
all of us, including you, because Mike is saying all he sees is the screen and me responding to a muted person. So I would think that there's Adam.
Wasn't Mike a contributor on CEwire? His name looks so familiar.
Mike Sandy? Yeah, he worked with Steve Nelson. He was on ODwire for a long time, and they created the billing handbook.
Oh, that right, the book, yes.
Excellent. Yay.
Yep, yep.
And Adam, though, still it is not switching to the current speaker, which is interesting. I don't care. I'm just letting you know.
Let me see. Hmm. How about now?
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, Steve, I wonder if Steve, you're frozen or you turned off your screen, and I was hearing something in the background. Yeah, it looks like it's working now because when
Okay,
you
good.
see two of one of us, when one of us is speaking, then that means that it's going to whatever is the whoever is the current speaker.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to get a drink of water. I swallowed a nut.
Choke on that water.
It's not vodka, it's water.
Yep.
Vodka's on Sunday night.
Hey, it's a long weekend. It makes sense. And Adam, we just need to see your lovely mug as well.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And you are echoey there. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So I might come back to see ODwire and give some great content.
So everybody else who's hanging out with us, see a couple of new names. Anybody have any questions? Anything we can answer for you?
Dr. Martinez did not answer me.
Well, maybe he logged in and just didn't.
Yeah. A lot of times people log in and they don't log out, and their name just keeps up there forever.
Yeah, and they're ready for the weekend, and or they log in just to make sure that it works, which is essentially what we're here for tonight. So at least he did that. He knows that his account is working, and we're happy to have him.
We've had some people log in from 2015 that are still there. Just kidding. Different software platform then.
Very different, yes.
You know what said a lot to me about 2 months ago? You remember Chris? Rich, you might not remember him, but Adam probably does. He said, "Hey, how you doing? What's happening? And are you still doing the conference?" I said, "Sure." And he's working somewhere for some software company. He he was he was really good support for you. I mean, he was a big help.
I remember, okay, I know who you're talking about. Yes, of course.
He would handle a lot of support issues, and he was very, very knowledgeable. But family comes first. I won't go any further.
I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see somebody pop in from Audentio, although somebody could have and just not said anything, popped in and popped out. He's at a movie? Hey,
Are they going to have anybody here tomorrow? Or are they trusting?
maybe I'll just start pinging him on Slack, interrupt his movie. I wonder what he's seeing, if it's something good. That's pretty
Rich, remember
funny.
I used to tell you I used to go to movies by myself every Friday? I used to love it.
You're muted, Steve. Your mic isn't
Oh,
picking you up.
is it?
Not mute, mute, but you are like muffled.
That was far right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So the movie theater was a mile away, closed down. They're ripping down the whole mall and building something else. Now I have to travel 15, 20 minutes for a movie theater. Ruins the whole thing. It was great. I'd go there on a Friday at 1 o'clock. It would be my own private movie theater.
I went once, I think it was in July. My daughter wanted to see something. I forget what we saw. Um, but it was on a July afternoon. We were the only people in the theater, and it was nice. I don't go to movies that much. We went to a movie a few weeks ago because she wanted to go see something, and we went as a family, all three of us. And before that, wow, I can't remember what the last movie I had seen. I mean, if I saw three movies last year, like in the entirety of 2025 in a theater, maybe I don't even know if I saw any. I just haven't gone to the movies that much.
My wife dragged me to the second Wicked because she wanted to know how it ends. I told her how it ends, but I still saw it. It was good.
I saw the stage show. I haven't seen either movie, and I'll watch them at some point on whatever service we have that has them. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, I think within a month or two it'll probably be on for free on either Amazon or Netflix or something like that.
Yeah, I know the first one is there, and I just haven't seen it. And I've been overruled that there are times I put some stuff on sometimes during the day, like just to give me some noise while I'm doing work, but it's not something that I want to watch. It's usually some streaming show that I know very well. It's and I don't pay attention to it. It's not like I'm watching it. But in the evenings when we're watching something, it's usually my husband who makes the pick, and he's been on this big horror kick, which
Mhm.
I very much pick and choose, and he watches stuff that I have zero interest in. So um, sometimes I hear it a bit, but I usually read. Like, for example, and there was a thread we were talking about this on ODwire. He's been watching Fallout on Amazon
Mhm.
Prime, that the next season has come out, and I don't really pay attention to it. And I've never played the video game, so I don't know if it's really hewing close to what it's supposed to do. But sometimes I see bits and pieces of it, but I'm not going to sit there and watch it. So I pick other things. He doesn't like what I pick, and I don't like what he picks.
Do you get Apple TV?
Oh yeah, we probably have too many streaming services, and we'll need to cut back because everybody's raising prices, and it's just getting ridiculous. And we
Yeah.
don't watch some of them enough to justify keeping it.
Watch Pluribus if you haven't seen it.
I've heard that's good. I haven't seen that yet.
Really, the first episode seems silly and you don't want to watch it. By the second or third, you get hooked, and now they're gonna have a second season coming out. I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. I told my wife, who hates that stuff, and she loved it. And you know what's coming back? I just saw yesterday the best thing on Apple ever. Ted Lasso is coming back with a season 4.
Oh, Adam, by the way, you are showing as Paul.
Oh
Maybe the
no!
ghost of Paul is with
That's
us
really
right now.
funny.
He's thinking about us. Um, you're gonna laugh, but I haven't seen Ted Lasso yet. So I know I need to. What we're watching right now, we just started, is the second season of Hijack on Apple. The first season
Yes,
was really great. This one, and I do love me some Idris Elba, don't get me wrong, but this one is not as good. It's a little confusing. I mean, it's okay, but it's not great compared to last season.
I only saw the first two because they only releasing it one at a time.
We
And
saw three, I think. We watched one last night, so the new one just came.
okay, I didn't get that one. I think he's looking like the villain, but he's really the hero, right? I would assume.
Yeah, but there are a lot of plot holes and things happening that I'm saying this doesn't make sense. So, I mean, we're going to
Okay.
finish it because I want to know what happens. But yeah, so I mean, on one hand, it's kind of nice that things are being released once a week, but then on the other hand, sometimes I just want to, get through it.
Mhm.
So, what else have we?
We finished Landman. Did you ever see Landman?
Mm-mm.
That's
I
with
don't watch as much as Troy does. I mean, even before we had streaming, I am a huge reader. I would always rather read than watch something. And I'm pretty picky when I do choose to watch something. So, yeah.
but if he likes horror, on whether it be Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, there's a plethora of horror, new stuff, old stuff in between.
He even likes really shitty horror. Like, there's, excuse me, there's a channel on our we have a digital antenna, so there's something called Pluto, and I think they're known for really bad B or D or whatever the worst horror is. Like he will watch the crappiest horror because he thinks it's funny. And I have zero patience for stupidity. He will think it's hilarious and watch it, and I have zero interest.
Did he ever watch Svengoolie? You know what that is?
Yes, and I've seen some of it too. You see that
It's
on
stupid.
MeTV or something. Yes, he's
Right.
watched all of
That's
that.
those are 50s shows, and they're commenting, and it's funny, but excuse me, don't eat any peanuts.
Did you ever watch Elvira, Mistress of the Dark?
Hmm. And Theater 3000, we have the cartoon
Mystery
characters.
Science Theater
Yeah,
3000. Yeah.
they're commenting from the front. They're making jokes as it happens. Look at that hair. Look at this. Stupid but funny.
Yeah. So that is just not my jam. Yeah. So there are things that I would want to watch that he doesn't. So I forget how we started talking about movies and stuff. Like he would watch Sharknado, and I think he was
Yeah.
going to dig something up for tonight. Um, and when he brought my dinner down to me, he asked if I had it was one of the Jurassic Parks, and I don't watch the new Jurassic Parks. I watched like the first one, and then that was it. Like the original one that had Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and nothing
Sam
else.
Neill. Sam
Sam
Neill.
Neill. Yep, I liked the first one and didn't want to watch the sequel. And then the reboot that had Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. I mean, they're great actors, but nope, I saw it. Don't need to see it again.
I had to see the last one because my favorite actress is Scarlett Johansson. She was in it. And she's
ScarJo.
really, I think she's great, pretty, and very smart.
Yep, she is a good actress. I am a big fan of Emma Stone.
Yep. But you know what? There was this movie that we both saw, began with a B, that was nominated for Oscars. Um, it was just nominated for Oscars, and she's the lead character. My wife and I saw it. It was on a streaming service. God awful. I forget the name of it. It was so bad, yet we couldn't believe that was up for it. She's up for an Oscar, and it was up for an Oscar. Begins with a
Wait,
B.
so who?
I
Who
don't
was
even.
up? Emma Stone?
Emma Stone in a movie that was a horror movie that she played the lead, and I saw it maybe 3 weeks ago, and I don't even remember it because it was so bad.
Is it Begonia?
Yeah, that's it. Did you see it?
No, but I've heard of it. And yeah, I know it's been nominated for some stuff. Like we're into
That's
award
it.
season now. Like we've had the Golden Globes and the Oscars, I think
Yeah,
are in what, two
I think
weeks?
she's nominated. Yeah, Emma Stone is in it, and I know the movie is also because I saw its name, and we could not believe it collectively because we hated it.
Interesting. I really like her as an actress, so I was thinking of checking it out, but I don't know. Well, I don't even know what it's about. I just know, like for example, my daughter is a huge fan of A24, like that production company. That's why when we went to the movies a few weeks ago, it was a movie from A24 that she wanted to see. Um, and so if there's a movie put out by them, she'll look into it just because she likes them, and I'll take a look at what Emma Stone does just because I like her as an actress. Oh, and speaking of other movies, Alex had us watch something else last week. It was another A24, and wow, was that a mess. It was horror. It wasn't, I mean, there was some gore, but it was more psychological horror, and it was called Hereditary, and that movie was
Yes,
up.
I saw it also. I think I saw it a while ago, so you have to
Yeah,
refresh my memory.
it's not a new movie. It was Toni Collette, and it was actually kind of cool. She was a miniatures artist that she made like little tiny houses and stuff, and her husband was a psychiatrist, and her mother had just passed away. And then her teenage son wanted to go to a party, and she said, "Take your sister with you. I don't want to spoil a movie." But the sister then dies, and it turns out that there's a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that people don't realize. And there was a really cool treehouse that the kids had. So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It was really,
Yeah.
really disturbing.
I remember not liking it because I remember the name, but when I guess I don't like something, I don't remember the story.
Yeah. I will tell you that it was well done, that the actors were great. Toni Collette was wonderful.
She's
I
good.
just didn't happen to like the story. I mean, the story was interesting, but it's just not my jam. I mean, my kid is the one who's into true crime, and one year for Christmas, Troy got her serial killer trading cards. Like she's into
Oh,
all that
nice.
weird stuff. I think this was during a COVID year, and we celebrate Christmas and we are open presents on Christmas Day, people. Except for, we have family over Christmas Eve and later Christmas Day, but we don't exchange our gifts until Christmas morning. But it was COVID and we had nobody there, and it was kind of a crappy, depressing time. And so I said to her, pick a present from under the tree, open it on Christmas Eve because it will be fun, give us something to do. And I even have a picture of what she opened. It was one of the books she had on her wish list, and the book was called Unsolved Child Murders. And so I said, boy, nothing says Merry Christmas like unsolved child murders, but it was a book she wanted and she's interested in that genre. So anyway, that's just a funny story about it just made us laugh. But that is not my first choice. So Alex and Troy watch a lot of those things together, and I'm just reading my book.
Maybe she'll be in the FBI as a head one day.
You know what? She actually thought about something like that. She did a summer camp one year. It was all about forensics and stuff like that. And they learned how to figure out the DNA of a strawberry. I mean, she was a preteen, so it was
Oh,
for younger
interesting.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if many strawberries commit violent crimes.
No, they have not. But if they do, she knows how to
We
take.
we have them. We have them nailed.
That's right. And we have been blabbing for how long about stupid movies, and these poor guys who are sitting here, if they're even listening anymore.
I don't know if they just shut off the computers because Carlos didn't say hello to me. Alan Rosenheck and Jackie Metzer, who I know, didn't say hello to me. I think they either hate me or they're not here.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't think
people have
people
just,
are here at this point. I think we're going to be done.
Yeah,
you're
you're
echoing,
reverberating, Adam.
Oh,
Adam.
Yeah, you're echoing badly now. Well, you have you're gargling at the same time.
hmm.
Yeah, I saw a couple of new names in there, but I do suspect that people are just jumping on to make sure they can log in and then just turning down the volume because they don't want to hear us blab about horror movies and they're ready to go for tomorrow. I mean, which is fine. They don't have to check in with us. They did make sure their account worked, which is the object of the exercise here.
All right. Well, then I think I don't know if we should log off here.
Let's see. The live stream starts at 9:30 tomorrow, but we'll be online at 9:15, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's probably the best thing to do. Get there a little early, and I'll make sure everything's working. And I got a bunch of stuff to set up.
I am happy to stick around and keep an eye on this chat if you'd like, Adam.
Yeah. If you want to, hang out.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
really want to, but if you think that somebody should be here in case there are questions, I'm happy to do so.
All right.
I'll stay till like 20 after. If nobody said this, I think they're not coming back now.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're going to get many because so many people, know how the system works.
You do
Well,
want to make sure that you are not channeling Paul tomorrow, unless, of course, you want to.
when are you playing his memorial?
I think that's the most important thing is the recording because we can throw it up on ODwire and it's something that we can share every time moving forward. So yeah, I don't think the time actually matters because most of the views aren't going to be live. Okay. Alrighty.
And everybody realize Adam's getting up at like 4 in the morning because we're starting at 6:15 his time, 9:15 Gretchen and my time.
Try to get some sleep, Adam. Don't burn the midnight oil. Alrighty.
But
Bye.
by the way, I don't know if you get Optometry Times, but I have an article coming out in the next issue, Gretchen.
Oh, really? I'll have to
Um,
take a look.
yeah, it was on. It's a really interesting subject. Me, um, I I had gotten the Shingrix shot for herpes years ago, like 4, 5, 6 years ago. I forget how long, both of them, some protected.
Mhm.
And it came out, but so mild that I recognized it. And then I went to a dermatologist and said, I don't think it is, but I'm looking and you're right. And so he prescribed the Valtrex or whatever. and I what do you call it? Got uveitis from it also, which often
Oh,
you
so
get.
this is your uveitis story. I do remember
Right,
that.
right, right. So I, I treated myself for a day or two because the hospital, crap, and went to a local ophthalmologist because the optometrists in Florida suck, at least close to me. And now he's a speaker at CEwire, by the way, and truly, and he said, "Well, this is a great thing because I've never seen such a mild presentation, and everything went away. Now I'm fine." And I actually referenced them in the article as uh, helping me, etc. So I asked the it's a junior editor to give me a couple more copies so I can give it to them so they can take it home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
Very
very easy.
cool.
I forget the name of the editor, but she was a nice girl. Ben, I contacted Ben, and he immediately put me in touch with somebody, and it's just a two-page little nothing. It's about recognizing herpes zoster ophthalmicus when you've had the Shingrix shot because it's a much more milder presentation and it's more difficult to find because of it. And that's going to
Yeah,
happen more and more now as more and more people get the vaccination and they
right,
show up in the offices and it doesn't look like the classic zoster because it's just not that bad.
right.
So
Cool. I'll have to take a look at it. Good for
yeah,
you.
I should be able to retire on that honorary.
Not.
No.
All right. Well, I will see you tomorrow.
Yep, I'm going to go now, and because today I actually am working this week. I have this today, Saturday and Sunday, and Monday I'm back doing interviews for 9 hours straight for the board of directors.
Wow.
So a lot of talking and a lot of what do you call it? Interviewing. Here, this actually is easy because I'm talking about stuff I know. The other stuff I had to fake. Anyway, have a nice evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be right
Bright and
on at
early.
9:15.
Okay.
That'll.
Night, Steve.
Good night.